What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to. I was gonna open it up by saying a fantastic day, but it got overshadowed with what happened off the pitch or on the pitch, literally, and off the pitch yesterday between Allegri and the entire world, basically. But before we get into it, I want to talk about winning the Coppa Italia. Obviously, we will talk about what happened and what transpired the entire day. But I want to make it first about winning the Coppa. But with me today, Norbert, to talk about a win, finally, like a big win. How are you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing well. Yesterday's win meant a lot more than I was scared to admit, or I felt I will feel.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. I almost like cried a little bit because 3 years and then nothing, and at the end we got a cup, and with all the fans and how we played and everything, it felt really good. And then this morning everything just poured out. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It was only midday or like midday, very late on the day. I remembered, or like remembered, not remember, but like I was like, oh, we play, like we play today. I literally the day before I completely forgot. By the way, like there was no excitement, there was no vibe, like there was nothing. It was just it's the final day basically of the season. Then kickoff started, and I was like, whatever happens, happens. We went 1-0 up very soon, and I was like, okay, now I'm stressed. Now I'm stressed. The stress only went away, excuse me, a minute 65 or so. Because at that point I was like, yeah, we're not really doing anything. But Atalanta have all the possession. But I was like, they're not going to score unless we hand it to them. They're not going to score. It was just not going to happen. So I was extremely calm throughout the game. But stress kicked in once we win 1-0 up, because at that point you kind of realize that, okay, we can win it. And I want to say we were playing a super team, but going off form, I think everybody knows the form. We watched the Salernitana game, and like 1 hour later, we all watched, or a lot of us watched the Roma game. The Atalanta Roma game, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be a very long night. And it wasn't a very long night, if I'm being completely honest. It was very calm, composed. I think we just did what we had to do. Like in the final, you win the final. Period. How you do it, nobody's gonna talk about that in I don't know how many years from now. Nobody's gonna remember. Yeah, we're gonna remember the game for other things, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But what happened on the pitch, the only thing you're gonna remember 20 years from now is we won it. Like that's it. We won it, and like you said, at the final whistle, I was like, it was a relief. It was basically a relief because it was like, we got, we grew. I don't want to say accustomed to not winning, but it became also not normal, like, but it became just part of life, if you know what I mean. No matter how
Yeah.
many times we talked about it and got pissed about it, that we're not winning and whatever, you just got kind of used to it in terms of you just, yeah, we're not going to win, but we won. And it's like, oh, finally, like we did it. We actually can win something still. And it's been a horrible season, 3 years actually, but this season has been horrible. And to finish it off with actually a win, it feels good. I'm not gonna lie. Like it felt very good. I think it made everybody's day today. Waking up, it's different than waking up and failing to beat Salernitana or Rome or
Yeah.
Udinese. Like waking up and knowing, okay, we won something is what the end of the day football is all about. By the way, winning stuff, and we won it. And we won it in a good way, as well. Like it wasn't a smash and grab, because overall I think we deserved to win, no matter what Gasperini had to say. They didn't
Yeah.
do anything besides hitting the
They
post.
didn't
We
even hit the goal. Yeah,
no,
they didn't.
they
They
didn't.
didn't
Like
shot on target.
they hit the post, we hit the crossbar, we had a few good opportunities. We kind of messed up ourselves, but it was one of those games where, like I said, 65 minutes was like, yeah, it's done. It's a wrap. Unless we're just gonna make a silly mistake, we're gonna win this game, And I thought we were gonna score one. We should have scored one, but it is what it is. It's a good feeling, and that's what it's all about, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and everyone played good. Um, there was there were no one that played bad. It was all good. Everyone knew what to do. Everyone knew where to position. Nicolosi was fantastic. Of course, Vlahovic, since he's better than Haaland, he played how he should play in a cup final. Um, and despite this all really bad refereeing and everying,
Yeah, that was poor.
um, yeah, it was really bad.
I can still
And
not believe that.
eh, I don't know. You can say whatever you want, but that I mean, you know that I mean, I know that you said it's a penalty, like me, because obviously it's a penalty. It's not a shoulder to shoulder contact.
It wasn't even
When you oh,
like you
yeah,
can see like they push, and I've seen not giving it even with when they don't use the shoulder, but he hit his
yeah,
knees. Like he was completely out
yeah,
of balance before he actually pushed it. Like it was clear and obvious. It's actually crazy that that was not called for a pen. Like, funnily enough, on the same moment, I had it on, but on the iPad, menu was on. It was just on for some reason, and they also didn't give a pen in that game. A ridiculous one where if you see the replay, you're like, how do you not see that? But that was ridiculous. Luckily, it didn't cost us, but that was crazy. Should have been a
yeah. We
pen.
could talk about the whole VAR system for I think entire shows, because how it is right now, it is completely unacceptable. And like people who are in that control room or whatever how they call it, they don't know football. They were never refereeing, they never played. Like, I don't know who they are, maybe students, or I don't know, but this is crazy. And that's why the Premier League teams, I don't know how many of them, appealed against the VAR, or like, to change something about it. And yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, that game, like in every way we were better. Shots on target, big chances, everything. We played the usual Allegri tactic, but this time the counterattacks actually worked. We had chances from them. And yeah, and it would have been a really nice, just like walk into the sunshine for Allegri. Like, sorry, not sunshine. What is it? How do you call it? Not sunshine. Sun, when it goes down. I don't know. I
Sunset.
forgot.
Okay, sunset.
Sunset, yeah, walk into
Yeah.
the sunset, yeah. Thank you. And but no, he had to do this.
I want to.
By the way, when he did that for the referee, I understand that is okay. That when he started to take off his shirt, that was a little too much. But that then what he did, that's crazy.
We will talk about that in a bit. People, we're gonna talk about
Yeah,
Allegri, but I still want to talk like a small 10 minutes about actually about the game, and then we will go into what you say kind of overshadowed winning the cup, and it's crazy. But a quick 10 minutes on actually on the game, on the players as well, because somebody said Danilo. Danilo was excellent. It doesn't change my opinion on Danilo, but I'm not here
yeah,
talking about that. He was excellent yesterday. Like he was brilliant. Bremer was excellent. They were both outstanding. Even Gatti was very good. He wasn't wasteful. Like extremely wasteful, like he has been in the past couple of days. And people hit the like button. Would appreciate that. But they were good. Nicolucci, I said it before kickoff. He's gonna have a quote unquote monster game or a complete disaster game because he hadn't played. I might be lying, but I think he played like 50 minutes in 24, maybe it's even. I'm
40 minutes
giving.
the whole season, right, or something like that.
Oh, I thought like 50 minutes and 24. Like, I thought it was that, but um, I said he was going to be excellent or he's going to be poor, and he was excellent in keeping things very simple but effective. Like he played a very good game. Post game, Allegri said, I might have made a mistake and should have played him more." Remember in January when we were linked with DMs on loan and buying? I said no. Nicolosi will do a job in the league against the poorer teams. Allegri never played him. He overplayed Locatelli. Here we are. We cannot change that, but that was my conviction at the time. He played well. I thought Rabiot had a very good game, like very
Yeah,
good. He was dominant. Finally, he was imposing. He wasn't scared to drive the ball. Like he was good. He made one weird pass at the beginning where it was like, oh, don't do not get back to
yeah,
quote unquote old ways. But he was brilliant. I thought Chiesa was very involved. I thought everybody was Cambiasso, like excellent. Like the transformation he made since the Bologna days, which is a year ago, is crazy. Like it's actually crazy. He was brilliant. Vlahovic was unbelievable. Like it was unplayable. He was holding up the ball, linking up play, running through the channels. Like he was kind of unstoppable. You know that second goal that got disallowed. Those rules need to change because it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
confused. I'm like it's guessing. Like it's not oh he's offside. It's just
and
guessing at
and
that
how do
point.
we know that these graphics are accurate,
That's my
even
point.
if it's like
Yeah,
less than half a centimeter difference. It's
not
less
even.
than I don't even know how much of a percentage of a body, and these are computer graphics. I'm sorry, but like, come on.
It was, and even the players coming on were good. Like, um, I probably forgot people. Who was McKennie? I thought it was Junior. Like after the game, I was like, I cannot believe. And I'm not saying Junior's world class or whatever. I'm not saying that, but
He
that
can do
he
a
has
job.
been benched for Kostic for so many weeks is insane. Like I'm sorry, and I know the standards are low, but Kostic has been poor. And people keep bringing up, oh, but Junior is not defensively good. Show me that. Show me he gets
Yeah,
cooked defensively. I can show you Kostic getting cooked and costing us goals this season and offering absolutely nothing going forward. In that first half, I said in my reaction, I think we surprised Atalanta. I think they were confused because we were actually pressing. We were not giving them a lot of time on in possession. I think we threw them completely off, and they never settled in the game. And that was Junior was part of it because he was high up the pitch and he has the
yeah,
recovery pace to actually track back and do the thing for 90 minutes. He was brilliant. So people disrespected him. He did a job. In the biggest game of the season for us, out of quote unquote nowhere. People might say, excuse me, and people are still like, oh, defensively he's not good. Kostic, he is. Like, it's bullshit. Like, it's a narrative that's out there, and I'm not sure who put that narrative out there, but some are running with it, but I'm not sure why. Like, I don't, like, somebody, excuse me, needs to show me proof. And that being said, I'm not saying Junior is world class or, oh my God, what a player. I'm not saying that. But compared to Kostic, it's crazy because yesterday he played and he was good. Miretti came on, good again. One of those players benched for a month out of nowhere. Not sure what that was all about. Or was it more than a month, basically? We didn't see Miretti until the final two games. So yeah, I think everybody chipped in. Everybody did his thing to win. Like again, it's all
yeah.
about winning.
Yeah, but for me, Cambiasso is still insane how he can play as a mezzala or he can play as a left right sorry left wing back, like seamlessly. Like he plays both positions, like if he's natural at both, and that's crazy to me. And
Yeah,
I know you talked about him before, like how it's a really positive surprise for you, and for me as well, obviously. But yeah, he's just amazing. And Ealing as well. It would be such a waste if we sell him for something 15 million or
I
something. Yeah,
because
because I
Anina
would
is
really
saying
love to see watch him at a proper be the proper coach.
yeah, but Anina's saying the same thing. I still think
Yeah,
there's a chance he's gonna stay. By the way, I still have a feeling. Uh, I'm not sure. Like I was 100% sure he was gone. I'm not. I'm not 100% convinced right now. I still think there is
yeah,
a possibility that they find a solution. I'm not gonna lie because I'm just thinking about the squad setup for
yeah,
next season and what we
yeah,
still need. I was like, I think they're gonna try to make money on other players first, if that makes sense, or try to sort out
yeah.
other things first.
So basically, if we don't sell the youngsters, we have, and if we play like what we should play, like the wingers, then we are set up front. Like we have the wingers, like Chiesa, we have Iling, we have Sule. Um, so, and I don't know, Yildiz, where he's going to play, depends on the new coach as well. But I really hope that Giuntoli will talk with the potential new coach, and they will figure out who stays and who's going. And yeah, let's see. But Ealing, I would really love to see him as a winger, as an actual winger who can just concentrate on attacking, and that's it.
Yeah, because somebody's saying Weah should be a winger, not a fullback next season. I think Weah
Yeah,
is a bit higher up the list in terms of he potentially could leave. Like,
yeah,
I know it sounds crazy, but let's see. It is sad. I've said it so many times. I'm not saying he's world class again, but I've not seen enough to say, he's definitely not it. That's the frustrating part, you know.
yeah. But
Um,
if we keep him, he can be a good squad player. So
I think he can even play a lot of games. Like we play so many games next season. We play
yeah,
Super
50,
Copa
50
for one
at
reason.
least, right? 58 or
Yeah,
59
we
at
play
least.
8 Champions League games. We play 38 Serie A games, at least one Copa game, two Super Copa games, because I think you need to play for third place as well, which is insane.
Yeah,
But it is what it is. And the Club World Cup, and that's the bare minimum. Like you can play even more if you make it out of the round, Copa Italia, whatever. So it's gonna be a lot of games. We need a big squad, and you cannot buy so many players. At one point, you're like, okay, I need to keep some of the players we already have, because you cannot improve on everyone right now. But yeah, that was the game. That was the highlight. And afterwards, like it was 2 a.m. in the morning or something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna record a video like I usually do the day before, because everybody saw the video of Allegri calling out Juntuli saying get away basically, and the players holding him back, and all those things. And I was like, that's the only thing that I knew at the time. Like there's no other news out there. It was just he like that clip. That's it. And I was like, I recorded the video, and I look like an ass now because I was like, it's all about winning. Do not talk about what happened on the pitch with Juntuli. That will sort itself out. Blah blah blah. You know what it is. And then midday, the stories start coming out, and I was like, what the hell just why, like what, why, like I was so confused. And the more came out, the worse it got. It got worse. And for the people who don't know, quick recap: Guido, who is Tuttosport director, actually he defended, like in the newspaper Tuttosport, they defended him up to a point where they couldn't defend him anymore, where it was unbelievable, and they flipped, and they was like, okay, now we cannot do this anymore, and we need to change it. But they defended Allegri for so long, even though we were going to an extremely poor period. They stuck with him up to a certain point. So that was weird. But apparently he was standing in the hallway, Guido, was talking on the phone, and Allegri yelled at him, you piece of, what, put down your phone, shit director, blah, 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 all those things.
yeah,
Said, I will come to you, I will tear your ears off. He pulled him, pushed him, all those things. Those things happen for everybody to see, by the way. Those things happen. Afterwards, he got into, I don't know what, how do you, like, not a shovel, but like in something with a prosecutor and like, what do you want to call it? A federal, working for the
yeah.
federation, whatever, and he kicked some lamps and whatever, broke stuff. Then post game, he was
Insane.
taking shots after shots. It was very strange. And I was like, why? Like, I get you might be frustrated, but that was ridiculous. Like that was absolutely ridiculous. And then he puts out the statement saying, "Oh, it was word for word." And Guido comes out again and said, "No, it's a lie. Like everybody saw it. You know, this is what happened. I'm gonna repeat myself one more time, and then it's done." And then the prosecutors come out saying, "Investigation. Both those guys need to show up. Camera footage. All like." I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, that's insane. You just won the cup. If you have those type of feelings towards, remember when I said so many times, I'm like, he's too soft at times in front of the media. Now he wants to let it all out. It was just weird. Like I don't like, I'm so confused. He might be,
yeah, but
I don't get it. I don't get it to go like that's overboard. What he did was just insane. Like he
yeah,
lost
but
it.
is it weird? Like he knows it's done, and
Yeah, but
he couldn't
like
hold himself, and that's it. Just let it go.
no, no. I like, yeah, it's still weird. Like that, you have letting it go, and then you have threatening journalists to beat their asses up. Like, like
And
it's,
rip their ears off and stuff.
yeah, it's it's crazy. But there are different layers to it. First, I want to say, because people will not, they will otherwise say, "Oh, this that." For me, is a legend of the club. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
Like nothing is going to change that for me. You know, if the club comes out and then give him a star, which I doubt at this moment in time, I'm like, yeah, like definitely, he's one of our most successful
Agree.
coaches. Period.
Yeah.
You know, he is. Nobody can take that away. Oh, it's Conte's team. Whatever. He won them, not Conte. He won it. You know, so nobody is gonna take that away from him, and I appreciate everything he did. Even winning yesterday, I appreciate that. Like it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that like, oh, the players won it. No, like he won it. He's part of it, and I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate what happened post game because people have flipped. They have become sentimental because we won the cup, and they're like, oh, like a lot of people who were so harsh on him all season long. Now you know what it is. We won the cup, and everybody's like, their mood changed. Your mood changed, and mine
Yeah.
changed as well. But when that happened, I'm like, no, you cannot do that. First of all, like if you want to call out a journalist, I don't care. I don't like the media. Nobody likes the media. But I'm like, you use the media with Gaglione every single time. You use them, Fabio Caressa, Zazzaroni, director of Corriere dello Sport. You use that same media to push a narrative. I remember when Giuntoli was signing, Caressa was speaking, Zazzaroni was speaking, saying, oh, he doesn't fit Allegri, blah, 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 and Manna is a better one to step in. Who put that out there? Let's be honest. You think Sazzaroni and Caressa woke up on the same day and said the same thing? Let's be completely honest right here. And it's not saying you cannot use the media. Use the media. Like you have friends. That's how it goes for every single one. The club, players, they all use the media. Everybody has friends in the media. But do not go cry when the same media gets used against you. Do not do that. I don't like that. I also don't like that people are not saying, oh, Giuntoli was in talks for a coach. He should be. What do you want him to do? Sack him today and then go search for a coach? And nobody does that. You need to be prepared. So I don't want to hear that as well. I don't care. You know, that's how it is. It's a business. He's been in the game for 20 years or something. Do not act surprised right now. Don't do that. That's two. And three, when like when you go out there and again the media whatever like forget about actually what he did try to quote unquote attack a guy. When you go out on the pitch and the cameras are on you spotlight and you call out your quote unquote boss, no, it's no go. Remember when Dybala, and I like Dybala, remember when he stared down the management? I was like,
Yeah.
nah, you just can't do that. Like that's not how it works. If you go to work and everybody's sitting there and you call off your boss, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, let's be completely honest. Nobody
Yeah.
is gonna say, "Oh, let him stay on for it." No. Oh, it's two more games. You know, let him finish it. Like imagine Giuntoli sitting there, everybody watching Allegri coach next to two games. Like he bridged that. Like he burned that bridge, and I think he knew that on the day. I don't think if you tell Allegri now you're sacked because of that, don't show up for the next two games. I think Allegri would be like, fair. I understand. Like I don't think he will be surprised. But everybody
Yeah,
flipped
and I
now
don't
because we
understand.
won. Like what he did was
Yeah.
crazy. Like he lost it completely. You cannot do that in front of the cameras. I'm sorry. And even if you don't like Giuntoli, whatever, it was clear from the beginning that not gonna work. And it was clear from the beginning that Giuntoli was gonna come in and he's gonna do his own thing as he should. If it's gonna end well or poorly, we don't know. But we will only know if he gets a shot. And nobody, like if you get the job at the club, you're gonna do your own thing. You want to do your own
Yeah.
thing. It is what it is. So I don't get the confusion. And when people are like, "Oh, you cannot sack him," he should have been sacked 2 months ago. Like I'm not gonna change my stance because he won the Copa. He remains a legend for me. Should have happened 2 months ago. So if they sack
Yeah.
him now with 2 games left, I'm like, man, yeah, like you blew it. Like look what you did. You cannot get away with calling off your boss in the middle of the pitch with all the world watching and players holding you back. I think
After he just
Giuntoli,
won the cup, that's
yeah, like
crazy.
it's crazy. And I thought already Giuntoli was like, ugh, because you didn't make that decision months ago. If you don't do
Yeah.
anything now, I would be extremely, should I say this? I would be disappointed in them. Even though people say, oh, it's
Yeah,
easy to
he
sack
would
him
be
now.
weak.
Even,
Yeah.
yeah, but I said that and people like, it's 2 games. It's weak anyway. Like let him finish the 2 games. I'm like, no, not even the 2 games. It's done. Like it's done. What you did is unacceptable. We cannot allow this at the club because if you allow this, in my opinion, even if it's for 2 games, I think other things can happen in the future with players. In my opinion,
Yeah. Uh, so how was the timeline exactly? So there was they got the cup, they celebrated, and then he did all this.
then he flipped off June. Told June. I think you saw the clip with June on the pitch. Then he
Yeah,
went
but
in.
that was before they got the cup, no? Or after? It was after?
No, they should like they
Or
didn't get the cup. It was before that, you know.
huh?
Then he
Yeah,
went
yeah.
in, did his usual uh, media standing up, then his presser, and then leaving the press room, he saw Guido. All those things happen,
Uh-huh.
and on the way out or in again, the second thing happened as well.
That's crazy. Crazy. I yeah, Reno said as well, like, okay, doing what he did with the referees, whatever, that's okay with me. Like a little too much, but still like within the boundaries. I think he got his red card for it, but after that, it's completely insane, unstable. Like unstable. You already know that you're gone, and you just let everything out. That's crazy. It's crazy to me.
I couldn't
Yeah,
believe it,
he
by the way.
he, he should he should be sacked. He should be sacked. And they said they didn't sack him today because there was no time to properly, I don't know, sack him and everyone and la la la. But
Also,
yeah,
Nikosira reporter and others reporting that they're looking at how can he potentially terminate his contract or something, and people are like,
yeah,
oh, it's weak. You need to pay him off. I'm like, the game is the game. If they find a way to do so,
yeah,
like it is like
yeah.
we don't need to be like
It's a contract. We don't know what's in the contract. Maybe it's the contract. Disciplinary actions, whatever. If you get fined, la la la, we can take whatever amount of money away from you and stuff like that. And people are arguing about this, that he deserves his money. If it's in the contract that he doesn't, then he doesn't.
I think even if if there's a way out, it is what it like. It's the game. Like if we being honest, if that happens in personal life and some like you can hate it, but it is what it is. If you can save a lot of money, everybody's gonna do that. So I'm not even. I'm like, oh my god. If there is a hole, a loophole, man, you
Yeah,
did it to yourself, not the club.
yeah,
Because it would also be weird for the club to be like, oh, we cannot pay you. You embarrass us, but you know what? We're still gonna pay you. That's not gonna happen as well. Like that's not how I think, in my opinion, rich people act.
it's business.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
business
it's
at the end of
business.
the day, and it's a
Yeah,
sad ending. It's a sad ending, but I'm not gonna be sentimental because I've been calling for him to get sacked months ago. I'm not gonna change my stand now. Not even 2 games at the end of the season when everything is played. What you've done, because Juntili looks like an ass, by the way. Now he got called out on the middle of the pitch. He looks
yeah,
like an ass. He looks weak right now. He does. I'm sorry. I don't know if he's weak. We've not seen anything from Juntili really right now, besides the fact that he said in January when we were winning, this ain't it still. Like this is not going to be the way to go, and he was right at the end of the day because it completely collapsed. And he said, "No, I'm going to make my move. I'm going to change things up." That's the only proof we have right now. But the other proof is he looks like an idiot. Like he looks like an idiot because everybody's looking at him now, and it's like you got flipped off, and you're not going to do anything really. Like that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like that weird. You look kind of weak. You do look kind of weak, and maybe sacking him with 2 games to go doesn't look strong, but that's the only thing you can do right now. There's no other way, in my opinion. That's the only way I view this. And now people are
yeah,
turning on Juntali, saying, "Oh, he didn't give him players in January. We didn't have money. Like we had no penny. We had nothing." We don't have money to renew Rugani until we secure Champions League. And people are sitting there
yeah.
talking about, oh, he didn't give him a player to compete. Who do you think we're going to sign for 5 million euros that will make us a super team? That one player. Somebody needs to explain that. To this day, nobody can answer that question. Nobody can answer that question, but they're crucifying Juntli for not bringing in a top player in January with 5 million euros to spend. But when you ask for Allegri to do a better job, they're like, "Oh no, that's crazy. That's an insane concept. That's not possible." But what is possible for a lot of people is Juntli buying a top player for 5 million euros in January. That is possible. Weird, but Hanina's saying I don't like that. He was the only guy there when all this shit happened last year. Weird to do this to him because of this. But these guys were not there when the shit happened. They're new. They weren't there. They just got appointed, basically. Juntli just came in. He wasn't there. He has no ties with Allegri at all. It is what it is. Like when I started my job, I just started my job when the company got took over. They sacked people who like family members who were previous working there. They removed them all. They removed them all. Fresh slate. Tons of experience. They said, no, we're doing something new. Like new people, not the old mindset, quote unquote, basically. It's new. No sentiment. That's how it works. That's how it always will work in life. If you like it or not like it, that's just how it is. Juntili was not there. He came in the summer and he's doing his own thing. Alcom told him, you do your thing. And he's doing his thing. He cannot let this slide. I'm sorry. He cannot let this slide because I will, like I said, I will give him 2 summers, but I will look at him very weird if he just let this slide. I would, because for me, that's an indication of, you know,
Yeah,
you
but
can be played with.
imagine that your coach is behaving insane, breaks something in the Olympico, which is not even your arena or whatever, and then they had to apologize for it. Like, no, I'm sorry, he needs to go.
Hasa saying Allegri deserves to celebrate this trophy more than Juntul, even though we had no money. Like, fine. Like, I didn't say that. Like, I didn't say anything about that. You know, he could celebrate, but he decided to go nuts. He made that decision, not me. Not me. You know, Apex is saying Allegri felt disrespected, and I agree. Juntuli and the media doing him dirty. No, Juntuli is doing his job. He's doing his job. Like he's doing his job. Like he's doing nothing else. Maybe the communication should have been better, but remember in the summer, and Juntli's not an idiot. He knows where the reports came out that he's not good, Juntli. He shouldn't be at a club as Juve. Manna is better. He's not an idiot. He knows where those rumors came from. And he's like, screw you. I don't have ties with you. You talked about me behind my back in the summer when I joined. Here we are now. I'm in charge, not you. And he's making a statement. That's how it works. I think people are surprised about how the football world works. It's just always it's always been like that, especially at Juve. Like we told Allegri, we told Del Piero to piss off. Like that's how it is at Juve. That's when people are mad about certain players leaving. I'm like, do you not know this club? Like I know how this club operates. They don't care about anyone. And sorry, Rick Ozzy, I was just kind of put up your chat, but it got removed for some reason. Um, you can put it in again. I will read it out.
No, he said we have 50 million, and we have
Okay.
to sell some big name to operate on the market. But I disagree. 50 million plus whatever we can be over 100, 150 even if we really want to, and I think that's enough money.
Okay. Johnny's saying, how did Allegri get disrespected? He was shit. And when you're bad, you lose your job. He didn't talk shit or nothing. Again, people feel sorry for a guy on 9 million euros a season. Like, I, I, I don't get that. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me,
Yeah,
And people saying, or like the media, not people, who would have done this job? A lot of people would have stayed on 9 million season,
yeah,
doing a poor
yeah.
job and just being safe, sitting on the
Who
bench.
would who would leave that much money? Because if you resign, you lose that money. Who would do that? No one. And he's the best paid coach in
if
Italy.
if
That's
you if
insane.
you pay me 9 million euros and I can go on a 2 wins game streak, 2 wins out of 14, I'll do it without getting sacked. Hey, sign me up. Like sign me up.
Yeah.
Like why? Like I don't get it. I don't feel I don't feel sorry for millionaires. I'm sorry. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the using the incident to refuse, like to not pay him out. Basically, hey, I mean, the game is the game. If that's possible, it is what it is. Like again, that's how life works. That's how business works. The football world is what it is. It's just what it is. So,
If it's
I,
in the contract or whatever, if we can make this work, then whose fault is it? Why did he behave like this? Yeah.
I don't know. Um, Dal saying he knew he's getting sacked and he's leaving on his own terms. I rate him for that. I don't think he's leaving on his own terms. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're right, but
I think he lost that.
yeah, it remains weird. It remains weird. The media saying that Scandavino Alcanfreda will decide if they will sack him now. Um, yeah, those are the last people who should be deciding, if I'm being completely honest. But it is what it is. Um, exactly. Allegri wasn't good enough. Period. When you're that bad, you're done. I don't know what Allegri expects for everyone to know, for everyone to bow down and worship how great he is. He earned his 9 million euros, steering the most joke club in the world for the past 2 years. Imagine someone like Tanaka or Mourinho, they will buckle. Yeah. Um, no, I'm sorry. I don't agree. Like I don't like last season. People who watch this channel said I respect him for staying, but keep in mind
Yeah.
there were rumors from extremely good sources saying he was about to walk. Do people remember that? And
Yeah.
Agnelli convinced him, please stay. He was ready to walk. Those were rumors from the sources, the same sources everybody wants to believe now. When it comes to Motta and all those guys, the same people were reporting that he was ready to walk. And Alcon said, please stay on. And I didn't blame him if he walked, by the way. I wouldn't have blamed him. But that
Yeah.
was also a thing. But when he stayed, and I said, do not sack him now because this is ridiculous, he stayed, he did his own thing. But this season, there were no off the field issues, basically. Yes, Pogba, but he was never fit anyway. Like people talk about Pogba, even if he was here, how many games was he going to play this season? Like, let's be completely honest. You
Yeah.
know? Anyway, the job has been poor, period. Um, thanks, Hamad, for giving away 10 memberships to everybody.
Wow.
Everybody who
Damn.
got one, thank Hamad in the chat because that's nice for him. If you are a member now, you can join the Discord group. If you want to do that, reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter, and I will link you that. But the link is also on the members tab on the YouTube homepage of this account, basically of this channel. But if it doesn't work, reach out to me on Twitter, and I will add you to the Discord members chat as well. But thanks, Hamid. Appreciate it. Really do. Um, Let me filter out. I cannot put it up, by the way, for some reason. Oh yeah, here we go. Den Haag can even back Zonomer. Yeah. I saw a comment from R&B Comps, I think. Here we go. Happy Allegri is ending with a trophy. Absolutely Juve legend overall. However, thanks for the memories, but it's time to say goodbye. Yeah, like I said, for me, he's a legend. Whatever happened yesterday, it's crazy. Like it's unbelievable. Like actually, I cannot deep it. I was at work and it was actually a very busy day at work, and I was popping off, and I was so confused. Only afterwards, I sat back and I was like, damn it, that's an extremely sad way to bow out. It really is. Like you couldn't have written a sadder ending than this. And it's also weird, like
Yeah.
you said, you won the Coppa Italia, like you won the trophy. I don't get it. Like I really do not get it. I don't get it. Like what happened? And maybe something happened. I don't know. We don't know. And maybe I can come on in a week or so and the news breaks. I'm like, hey, maybe I do understand him. But for now, right now, I don't understand it. I don't. I really don't. You know. But it is what it is. Yeah, we talked about your guy, Nico Lucy at the beginning. He was brilliant yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. A sad ending. You know what? What about the sad last 3 seasons? Yeah, that's why I'm not. That's. It
Yeah.
is a sad ending in terms of you won the cup and then basically on the same day it got overshadowed. That's what I mean with sad ending, basically. Um, what clubs will touch Allegri in the future? According to Di Marzio, at this moment in time, nobody. That's what Di Marzio said. Like no team, no top club is looking for Allegri right now. I would be surprised if I'm being honest if he gets a quote unquote top job, depending on what people
Mm.
assume to be. But again, if he's gone, he's gone. Like it's nothing
But
to do with us anymore.
yeah, but I don't know how many teams check so I don't know how clubs sign coaches, because they see that okay, he won the cup, Champions League spot, la la la. Juventus didn't really sign anyone, and they might think, okay, Allegri can do a job. But yeah, I don't see him at a top club. So MLS, I don't know how is his English,
I have no idea
but
as
I
well.
can't see him at MLS. I somehow I can't see him at a Saudi club. I just can't. So what's left? He's not going to Serie B or anything B, so that's not an option. So I really don't know.
I think he's gonna retire. I still believe that.
Really?
Yeah, I just that's my feeling right now. That's a feeling I have. But you never know. You absolutely never know what could happen. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And the news is that again recap. The news, like, first was the news. Oh, he's getting sacked today um, after after 8 o'clock or something. When the stock market exchange whatever has closed, something like that, whatever. That didn't happen, and now it's like, oh, before the Bologna game. I'm like, yeah, like it makes sense. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be before the Bologna game. I was watching or rewatching, not watching live. I rewinded it a bit. Romeo was on Eventibus and he was speaking about in the morning things could be more clear because there's a training session. If he's there, you know, he's probably gonna finish the season. But it would be weird for the club to say, "Oh, come in and train the guys," and then at 12
Yeah.
o'clock when training is over, we're gonna sack you. That would also be very strange, in my opinion. You let him come in, and you tell him basically, then it's done. You don't need to do the training anymore because it's over. So that's why Romeo said, "I'm gonna
So
wake up early to see if there are indications that
yeah, because they pushed the training right to
they
eleven
push it.
thirty.
They
So
push it.
yeah, they want to sack him or decide what's happening before that. I can't see him train. I can't see it.
You
I
can.
think we're gonna see Montero there.
At this point, I don't care who's gonna train. Like the
Yeah,
last two games are purely vibes. It like
yeah,
I think half of the fan base is not even gonna watch those last two games. I'm gonna watch them, but I think a lot of people are not gonna even bother to watch. So the last two games, whatever, they can train themselves. It's pointless.
yeah.
So I'm not really fussed about that. It's just, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna let them finish out the 2 seasons, 2 games? Are you gonna allow him to have the last home game against Monza, walk out with the Coppa Italia, basically, or are you gonna make the decision? No, you're not gonna walk out with the Coppa Italia. Just don't show up again. And that could potentially be how do you want to call it? Basically, like, you again, bridge burn. You cannot really come back to the stadium to watch a game. Because that will be very. I think it's odd already
Oh,
now. Like,
yeah,
if you don't get sacked, you call out those people. Like, it's weird to come back now from it. It really does. Remember when you said so many times? I'm like, he's kind of breaking character a bit lately. He's very animated. I was like, usually he's
yeah,
very composed and calm, and this was next level. Like, this was actually next level.
yeah, yeah. And Hanin really wanted to see Motta versus Allegri, but I think her dream will never come true now. It's not
You
like
really
that.
wanted to see that again? Actually, those, like, that would be a false image. Like, Bologna are qualified, we are qualified. Like, the
Yeah,
intensity will be. It's not the same.
all
Like,
vibes.
yeah, the focus level is not the same. Like, you just won the Coppa Italia. They qualify for Champions League for the first time in almost 60 years. It's basically like vibes. Go out there and just quote unquote have fun. you know, whatever happens, happens. You know, I don't think anyone is like, oh, I want to finish above Juve or oh, we cannot finish about underneath Bologna. Like nobody really cares. I don't really care about that. So I think that game is kind of will be kind of pointless. It still is pointless. Like it is pointless, you know, and it could be even more so if you completely remove Allegri, which potentially could be the case on Monday. No, on Monday, tomorrow morning. Excuse me.
It's funny
But yeah,
because remember I predicted that he will be gone before the after the cup, but I never thought this would be the way, you know. I would thought that I no sorry I said that it would be announced that he's gone at the end of the season,
yeah, I thought the
and
same
instead of
thing.
that we are getting this.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought he will win it and they will announce, okay, Monza is his
Yeah,
last home game. It's over. You know, I thought that it will
yeah,
be that type of ending, but it could
it's
be,
crazy.
yeah. I don't care about the game and just how they behave, knowing Mota is a successor. That's
That's funny.
no. I can bet you that if Allegri's the coach, Diallo's not going to see the pitch again. Uh, that would be actually a thing to look out for. But yeah, like
Oh my.
it's
So you think Giuntoli told Allegri that Motta is probably the next, or he read it or something, and then
oh they know,
imagine
they
them
know.
shaking hands.
I don't know if like even if it's not Monta, they know like they're not idiots. That's what I said minutes ago. Juntli is
Yeah,
also not an idiot. He knew where the shots came in the summer. Like he's not an idiot. Like the world of football behind the scenes is small. Like they're not idiots. Those guys. They know what happens. They know when his agent was taking shots at Juntuli, when Gaglione comes out and Caressa comes out and talks about Juntuli week in week out. Basically, he's not an idiot. Like he's definitely not stupid. He knows what's happening, and he's like, screw you. I don't have ties with you. I don't have ties with you. If I want to move and find a successor for my Juve, I'm gonna do that. Now, if he never communicated with Allegri or his agent, that I disagree with. Just be open and be like, okay, it's over. You know, I'm gonna replace you. Period. That I disagree with. If he didn't do that, you should have done
by
that.
the way, some small breaking news that Shearer just wrote that Manchester United sent their scouts 3 times already to check out Bremer, so
Yeah,
I'm afraid he might be gone.
I'm not so sure about that. We might need the money, but I don't like. Is Bremer really sitting there and being like, "Yeah, that's the jump I want to make." That Manu team
Wait, they're not even gonna be in Conference League or nothing, right?
is that gonna
Or they
change
they are
anything?
close to it. They're like seventh or something. I don't know.
Is that gonna
Yeah,
change
you're
anything?
right. Yeah. But
So I'm not really convinced about that. It could be because the
if
club
but
needs
if
the
he's
money.
gone next year, if he's gone next year for 60 or whatever, wouldn't it be better to sell him for like 70 plus 10 bonus or whatever this year?
If you think he's gone next season, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And that's what my thinking. If the rumors are true and he has a release clause of 60, 65, maybe 70 plus 10 bonus or something, or 60 plus 20 bonus or whatever might be the number. But yeah, it's been a crazy 3 years, even crazier past 24 hours. Um, yeah, and Monday, Bologna,
Yeah.
Motta. We can see. We can see nothing actually. Yeah, we just talked about it because both of us like we're not playing for anything. So yeah,
No, we're not playing for anything. It's just I think
maybe we can
everybody.
see the younger players, and that's it.
Yeah, but
If
it's
if
just a
it's not
vibe.
that, yeah, yeah, just vibes.
People are saying I'm excited to see Fajoli. Only watching to see which Bologna players come to Juve next year. You will decide whether to terminate his contract tomorrow. It was
Yeah.
saying that. Uh, I'm not sure.
No, they are still deciding. They are still talking. I think it's the talk is about the money. How should they do it? Like they're talking with lawyers to see what are the options.
You know
Maybe
what it
they
is? If you
can get
sack
rid
him,
of them cheaper.
really, like really quickly, um, if you sack him now, you need to pay him. If you don't sack him and he still finds a job for some reason, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, that the clubs think like they again they're not really idiots. You know, they're kind of going over every single option.
Yeah,
Um,
but they can wait. Like they can still suspend him, no? And they can just say whatever and find a job, and they can still pay him. And I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
But I think Juntoli needs to show that he's strong and he needs to sack him.
I agree. I agree. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion. I just found out that my T-shirt is outdated because it says 14.
Ah,
Couple.
yes. I was thinking about it.
I need to change that. Actually, weird because I have a bunch of them. I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting that anytime soon. So kind of screwed myself over. Um, but it is what it is. I think we're gonna wrap this one up. I know still 40 people are watching, but hit the like button. I will be back tomorrow, 100% certain. No matter what happens, if there's breaking news, I will try to um, record something on the fly because I'm actually away all day until late. But I will be back live no matter what happens tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Actually, I will also be live most likely on Saturday for once. So stay tuned for that as well. Um, it's never gonna happen. But what if Allegri ended up making an announcement? He's staying. Yeah, it's never gonna happen. Like, uh, no chance. No chance. But yeah, people, we are gonna wrap this one up. Hamad, again, thanks for sharing 10 thing subscriptions. It was appreciated.
Yeah.
Everybody who got one, thank Hamad in the chat. If you want to join the members Discord chat, reach out to me on Twitter, and I will put you in the private chat. Like the video, subscribe, Norbert. Thanks for coming on and sharing the stress and enjoying the win. Like
Yeah.
we cannot have
One of
easy
the one
things
of
right
the
here.
yeah, one of the rare times that we actually we were happier than usual. And first cup in how many years? 4 years. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is actually crazy when you think about it. Like, it's actually
First, not
sad, but
first cup, first trophy.
first
Yeah.
trophy. Yeah. But we did it, and that's the only thing that matters. People, hit the like button. If you're rewatching, hit the like button as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Ciao.